Rizal's Grand Tour of Europe with Viola, 1887. On May 11, 1887, Rizal and Viola left Berlin by train. Their destination was Dresden. Dresden, their visit coincided with the regional floral exposition, which Rizal was interested in botany. They visited Dr. Adolf Meyer, who was overjoyed to see them. Rizal was deeply impressed by painting of Prometheus bound at the Museum of the Art. They met Dr. Jaguar at the scene of the floral exposition. They planned to visit Mrcst. Jaguar heard them. The doctor advised them to wear blooming treat of their coming because the old professor might suffer a shock at their sudden visit. Rizal and Viola sent a wire to Blumentritt after leaving Dresden, where Dresden was their next stopover. First meeting with Blumentritt on May 13, 1887 at 1:30 p.m., they arrived at the railroad station of Mrcst, Bohemia. Warmly received Rizal and Viola. The two great scholars meet each other personally and they greeted each other in fluent German. Upon seeing the talented Rizal for the first time, he immediately took him into heart and loving him as son. They were introduced to the family of the great Professor Blumentritt. They stayed in Mrcst from May 13 to 16, 1887. Beautiful memories of Mrcst, he enjoyed the hospitality of the Blumentritt's family. Rizal and Viola tourist guide is the professor. One afternoon, they were invited to a bear garden. They met the burgomaster of the town and they were proudly introduced by Blumentritt. Another one afternoon, Rizal and Viola were invited to a meeting of the tourist club of Mrcst.
Praising Australia's idyllic scenes and its hospitable nature, loving and noble people, Rizal meet Dr. Carlos Zepelak, the renowned scientist of Europe, and he was introduced to Professor Robert Klotschak, an eminent naturalist. May 16 at 9:45 a.m., Rizal and Viola left Mrcst by train. May 19, 1887, Rizal wrote to Blumentritt by saying thank you for all the help experienced while staying in Mrcst. May 24, 1887, Rizal and Viola wrote a letter to Blumentritt that concerned about the illness of Dora. Prague, they carried letters of recommendation from Blumentritt to Dr. Wilcom. They visited the tomb of Copernicus, as well as the Museum of Natural History and the famous cave where San Juan Nepomuceno, the Catholic saint, was imprisoned. They went to Brunn after saying goodbye to Professor, and according to Viola, nothing of important happened in this city. Vienna, May 20, 1887, Rizal and Viola arrived to the beautiful city of Vienna. They meet Norfanfals. They visited the city's interesting places, and they met two good friends of Blumentritt, Master and Nordam, an Austrian scholars. The Norman voyage to Linz. May 24, 1887, Rizal and Vienna left Vienna on a river buoy to see the beautiful sights of Danube River. From Leeds to rainfall, they traveled overland to Salzburg and from there to Munich. From Munich, they went to Nuremberg. They saw in this city where the horrible torture machines used by Inquisitions. After Munich, they visited where the cathedral was the largest and tallest in all Germany. Then they went to Stuttgart, Baden, and then Rainfall. Crossing the frontier to Switzerland, they stayed in the city from June to 3, 1887.
They continued their tour to Basel, Bale, Bern, and the Lucerne Geneva. From Lucerne, Rizal and Viola left on a little boat crossing the foggy Leman Lake to Geneva. People have the linguistics speaking French, German, and Italian. June 19, 1887, Rizal treated Viola a blowout. It was his 26th birthday, June 23, 1887. They parted ways. Viola returned to Barcelona while Rizal continued the tour to Italy. Rizal's recent exhibition of Igorots in 1887, Madrid Exposition, and an exposition in the Philippines was held in Madrid, Spain. Rizal received a sad news from his friends of the deplorable condition of the primitive Igorots. June 6, 1887, Rizal wrote a letter to Mrcst, and he expressed his feelings to the great professor. June 19, 1887, Rizal wrote again to Mrcst. Rizal in Italy, June 27, 1887, Rizal reached Rome, the Eternal City, and also called the City of the Caesars. Again, Rizal wrote a letter of lament because he was treated by the sign and memory of the Eternal City, in which Mrcst describes June 29, 1887, feast day of St. Peter and St. Paul. He visited the Vatican City of the puppets. Of the first time, he was deeply impressed by the magnificent definitions, particularly of St. Peter Church. He was visit Peter Square of the colorful papal guards and the atmosphere of religious division that pervaded the Vatican. Every night after the sightseeing, the whole day, Rizal returned to his hotel. Very tired. I am tired as a dog, but I will sleep as a dog. He wrote the Mrcst after a week of staying in Rome. Rizal decided to go home, and he had written to his father and that he was coming home.